All right. Good day to you wherever you are. Welcome to X365 TV on YouTube. I'm here at Milan Hotel in downtown San Jose, Costa Rica. And guess what? I just ran into somebody like me from the US, and so I'll let him introduce himself. Tell us about yourself, please.
Yeah, so I'm a pastor. I'm from Arkansas. My name is Max, and I live in the Limon area of Costa Rica. Yeah.
So, how long have you lived here in
Coming up
Rica?
to 5 years, really soon. Yeah,
So, you moved here with your family?
I did. I have a wife and 3 sons, 14 years, 12, and 10 years. And we live kind of like in a rural area, like the mountains of Costa Rica, a mountain range called Talamanca.
Okay. So, what's your name?
Max?
Okay, Max. Okay. So, why did you move from the States?
So I worked with addicts and alcoholics for a long time. Almost 20 years ago, I was a short-term missionary here. So I lived in Costa Rica for 6 months, and they have a lot of addiction. I worked for 10 years in the States, running a rehab, Christian rehab, and they don't have a lot of those here. And so the Lord called my family to move here.
So, tell us how has it been like living in Costa Rica?
It's a beautiful country. You know, I think everywhere that God makes is beautiful in one way or another, and so Costa Rica is beautiful. It's a very calm country, a very peaceful country. They have their problems like anywhere you go. You know, you go to a big city, you have the nice part of town, you have the not nice part of town. And, you know, because of my work, I spend a lot of time in the nice part of town. So yeah, that's kind of Costa Rica's beautiful. It's amazing.
What, if any, have you missed living in the States?
Uh, So there are certain things that my wife likes. Dr. Pepper. They don't sell Dr. Pepper in Costa Rica. For years we couldn't get peanut butter. There's some little things like that. You know, really we miss our family. But if you can live a little bit more humbly, you know, than you do in the States, a lot of people do very well down here. It's a little bit cheaper. You know, it doesn't cost quite as much. The beaches are really close. The mountains are close. But we've missed our family. You know, that's probably the main thing.
So, what adjustments have you had to make?
Well, because we're missionaries, we live on a lot less money. That's not a Costa Rica thing. That's just our life and the life that we live for Jesus.
Amen.
But yeah, you can live comfortably in Costa Rica. The adjustments, the heat, here in San Jose in the Central Valley, the climate is incredible. They say it's one of the best climates in the world, and it is. It's nice to visit. But we live on the Caribbean side, and it is hot and humid. It's a lot more like Louisiana or what you would picture like a rainforest, a tropical environment. It rains every other day. It rains for 3 to 4 weeks without stopping, 2 times a year. So those months are kind of hard. You learn how to go and rent movies and stay inside, you know, because it's just raining and raining. But after the rainy season, it's incredible, man. The waves are incredible to surf with my kids. I've taught my kids how to surf. We're from Arkansas, so of course we never surf in Arkansas. We snorkel some of the best coral reefs in the world in Costa Rica. So our free time, apart from the ministry, is filled with adventure. It's really nice.
What advice would you give to somebody who is in the States or in any part of the world and they're looking at relocating to Costa Rica? Is there anything you want to say? Any advice you want to give?
It's not as easy as it seems. Working with a different government, you know, in the States we have things so easy. Our government is awesome. For all of its problems, it's still incredible. but it's taken us a long time to get residency. We're putting in our final paperwork after 4 years. It's not like you can come and just get residency immediately. But as far as all the countries I've been to in Central America, and I've lived and been to several other countries, Costa Rica is by far the best.
What countries have you been to?
Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Costa Rica, Haiti,
Wow.
and Honduras, and El Salvador. So I've traveled.
Tell us what's the one thing or two things take away from those countries. How would you contrast living in those countries?
So Mexico, you always have to worry about the cartels. It doesn't matter what part of town or what part of Mexico you live in. It's an issue. Also, the climate in Mexico can be really hot and dry. In Costa Rica, you're able to kind of pick, do you want to be like the climate of Denver during the summer, nice, dry? Do you like a tropical environment? Honduras has those same options, but the government in Honduras is very difficult to deal with. Also, because of the cartels, they militarize their police in Honduras, so it's kind of difficult. The police have like grenades and
Wow.
automatic weapons.
Wow.
And they're pretty serious. El Salvador is the same. Panama is really nice. It's a little bit cheaper than Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
And the government likes the United States even more than Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
But it has its problems. Policing is a problem, crime is a problem, big cities are a problem. It's not as natural as Costa Rica. And Nicaragua is very difficult to live in. I'll just say that. I don't want to put anything down. The Nicaraguan people are amazing. They are amazing people. Some of the best people I've ever met in my life. But the government underneath Ortega is it's very difficult to work with.
But visiting Nicaragua, it's
Visiting Nicaragua was cool. I liked it. It was beautiful. Like I said, the people, incredible people. I mean, just humble, hardworking, genuine people. I love Nicaragua. But as far as, I'm very glad that God called us here, because as far as living somewhere permanently, Nicaragua would be much more difficult than Costa Rica.
much more what?
Difficult.
Okay. So I was going to ask you, of these countries, which one would, your own personal opinion, what would you say is the best, perhaps, of all these countries to live in?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica?
I would say Costa Rica. I'm very fortunate. I go wherever he calls.
Yeah.
And he called us to Costa Rica, so I'm very fortunate in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw you ride
A motorcycle.
a motorcycle from Limon, you said.
Yeah.
And you said you rode for about 3 hours or so?
About 3 hours and 35 minutes, actually.
What was the experience like riding a motorbike?
So it was raining almost the whole time, and that was pretty difficult. I was very cold. The trip on the bus, we also have a van for the center, and I was going to come into San Jose with our van, but it didn't work out, so I had to take my motorcycle. It was very cold and very wet, but normally it would take almost 6 hours, and I made it in 3 hours and 35 minutes, so that was really nice. A cheap motorcycle is a great way to get around Costa Rica if you're going to live here. The taxes are very cheap on it. You can buy them for a couple $1,000s brand new, and it's a good transportation in Costa Rica. So.
Is there any last word you might have for our viewers?
You're the same person no matter what country you live in. And so if you want to enjoy your life, make sure that this is good, that you're good in here first. A change in environment, all you do is drag the same person to a different place. So don't worry, be happy, live for Jesus.
Thank you, Max.
Yeah, you're welcome.